Alesia Michelle.
Hey girl,
I'm ready to go.
how you feeling?
Eurovision fan. Are you ready for the show? Hey, if you've never been to my channel before, welcome. You are in the right place. If you love the Eurovision Song Contest, I think you're going to love my channel. So please take this opportunity to like this video and to subscribe. Now, I started doing this series last year where I made videos, honing in on like kind of our favorites in different categories and whatnot. And with this year being the Battle of the Bands, it made sense to conclude this section of, content with this question talking about the Battle of the Bands. Now, we are live here, so if you haven't already liked this video and subscribed, I think you're going to want to subscribe because you don't want to miss content like this, and you want to be able to come into these conversations that are happening live, yes, live, right now, in this moment. So hello, folks. I think it's great to have people here today. Hello. We've got some more folks coming in. Ooh, hello. And we got to get down to business. We got to get down to business, y'all, because we got to talk about these bands. All right. So I'm going to start off. And so I do have 5 places. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. Yes, I have 5 places for this. And when I tell you, this was like one of the most decisive categories this year. Other ones I had notes all over the place. This one, people were really kind of pushing it in with certain folks. They were very clear about where they wanted to put their votes in. So I guess I appreciate the decisiveness. Maybe some of these bands have to be worried because, they were kind of left out of the mix. Some of them were left out of the mix. So that's really key. So I want to get into this and say yes, officially. Wait. Hold on. Let me just make sure. Wait. I've got 5 places for this. Right? 5 places. Yes. 5 places. And again, the criteria is still there. So let's kick it off and talk about the countries that didn't get enough points to end up in our top 5. So let's kick it off and start there. Croatia and San Marino basically tied. Y'all, I haven't done my semifinal predictions yet. The plan is to drop that next week, okay? I'm going to drop my predictions next week. Yes, I'm going to do it next week. So, what I'm starting to warm up to the idea, y'all. What if Croatia doesn't qualify? I don't know. Maybe that's crazy. Because this is the thing. Maybe just in our fan bubble, are we kind of overestimating that the people at home that are looking for something out of the box and maybe a little WTF, maybe we're thinking that they're all going to go for Croatia, and maybe they're not. And even if we look at the semi, Finland is already there, so they got that. So maybe does it make sense to have it there? I don't know. I'm just getting a little bit of this thing of maybe it won't. I don't know. I haven't finalized my predictions yet, so we will have that conversation next week. San Marino, I was not surprised to see it here. Yeah, I wasn't surprised to see it here. But let's move on. So we're talking the best of the band's non-solo act. Now, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you are clicking on the link below in this description to look at the votes for this, I did this tally weeks ago, okay? People had a solid 48 hours to vote for their favorites. Some last-minute votes might have came in. But here we are. Okay, so Germany and Ukraine actually ended up tying in this, which I was surprised. Now, to be fair, Germany got some last-minute votes. I don't know if some Lord of the Lost fans are just out here fervent on the internet. I think that they are. And just wanted to make sure that Lord of the Lost got mentioned. But let's be real. Lord of the Lost, they were mentioned in our category when we were talking about best rock song. So it's not like they didn't get any shine. Just in this category, people didn't really show up that much. Ukraine, I wasn't surprised that Ukraine didn't have a ton of points in this category. Maybe some people were not thinking about duos, but also I think in the fandom, Ukraine's entry this year is a little bit underrated. In the sense where I think some people are not anticipating how well, from my perspective, this will in fact do with the juries this year, I think. Um, so moving along, next up, still we're not in our top five category yet, is the Netherlands. Uh, I don't know how y'all are feeling about the Netherlands. I'm kind of putting the Netherlands and Switzerland in a little bit of the same category this year, and they're in the same semi. If I had to compare the two, I'd choose the Netherlands over Switzerland. That's just my personal opinion. I know y'all are really invested into the pre party performances. I am not, because I'm like, that's a pre party performance. That's very different from what we're going to get at the big show on the big stage. So I'm not investing too much in that, but I I don't know, y'all. Are y'all just not feeling the Netherlands? Are y'all just not feeling? Let me hop into these comments. Okay, let's see. Eurovision says the Netherlands live vocals and chemistry is non-existent. Well, to be honest, I mean, whenever you have a duo that's kind of put together, it's challenging. It's tricky because it's like there isn't going to be that long-standing chemistry. Like if I were to compare them to Joker Out, I mean, it's like night and day. Let's see. What else do we have here? And Catherine says Netherlands was a disappointment. Okay. Okay. Michelle says Netherlands song is good. They haven't been the best in pre-parties though, but does that really matter? Does that really matter? And then let's see, whatever. You says before the pre-parties it was my top 10. Now, however, dot dot dot. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's move on. We're going to talk about our winner's circle. Fifth position, it is Malta. Y'all know I love Malta's entry in the national selection. I feel like the busker was the absolute right decision for Malta to make. I'm glad that they're going to be representing Malta this year at Eurovision, but I hate the running order for it. I really am irked that they're not opening the show. Yes, Queen of the Kings. Norway is a strong opener, but I just feel like we should have made people wait. We should have made people wait for Norway. They could have came at the end of the half to give us that lift to move us into the second half of the show. Norway didn't need to open, and I just feel like they could have thrown the bone to Malta or Ireland, and they just chose not to. But I am happy to see Malta's entry here. This song is not a skip for me. It's good. I feel like this is definitely going to be on my summertime playlist. I love the way that they're staging this. I love the way that they're styled. Everything about like the national selection performance, and that small scale, I just feel like was tailor made for what we'll have in Liverpool, and they'll absolutely be able to recreate it. I really love Malta's entry. I do not think that they're going to advance, and I just feel really bummed about that. Let me hop into the comments. So Maki Roll says, I love Malta so much. LA Boy, I love Malta's song. Joseph, the busker will not qualify. It comes off as cringy, to be honest. Really? If that was cringy, then okay, I don't know. Okay. Pasqualino, what if Malta pulls a Sunstroke project? I'd love to see it. See, here's the thing. I think some people are putting Malta in a Sunstroke category. And I think that they're less cool. They're a little bit more kitsch. It's giving me a little bit like Dario Frere and Gagnamagnia. Y'all, I gotta work on this stuff. But no, if he says, I really want Malta in the final, but the semi, oof. Yeah, the running order is killing it. To me, that's what I'm blaming at this point. It was already a tough semi, and the running order to me really kind of sealed its fate, and I'm bummed about it. But that was fifth place. Let's move on to fourth place, which was Latvia. Glad to see Latvia in the mix for this category, but I've spent so much time talking about Latvia. I talked about them in the rock category. I just feel like this song is good. It's sort of in the same category with Malta for me, song that I really like, and I don't know, y'all. Malta, I'm willing to let go. Malta, it's fun, it's good. Malta probably needed a couple of years to rebuild following Destiny, so then they can come back and get that winner Winter Glory, which I believe that they could very well do. But with Latvia, with the recent track record that they have, that I don't even think is completely fair. Like I think there have been some times where Latvia actually deserved to qualify in recent history when they did not. Sudden Lights, I that song, we need it in the final. Pick up the phones, Europe. You don't need to call for Sweden. You don't need to call for Finland. You don't need to call for Norway. We need to be giving these points to Latvia. And quiet as is kept, Portugal, but that's not what this video is for. But we need to be picking up the phone and calling for Latvia. Okay, let me hop into these comments. Michelle, I want Latvia to qualify. Makiro, oh my God, Latvia is in my top 2 this year. I'm going to be so sad if they don't qualify. Alexander, I'm going to be voting for Latvia even though it's not my number 1. It needs to advance. Thank you. Thank you. We need more people like you. We need that. You says Latvia is going to be too complicated for general audience. I feel like the rhythm changes, etc. will throw them off. It's my first place this year, so I don't want to let it go. Well, stop putting it out into the ether. We're thinking positive. We're thinking positive. We're going to be thinking positive. Latvia is always struggling with the televote, so no chances. And then what do we have? Pasqualino. All my votes are going for Latvia and Portugal. It's my top 2 of the whole contest. We love it. We love to see it. Now, as we get into our top 3, I'm going to add to the stream. Here we go. Add to the stream our polls so you can see. So this was real. I didn't just make this up. I'm not just talking out of nothing. So yes. Let's move on to our 3rd place. And actually, I do want to say Australia did get a mention, and they were pretty much like, they were like virtually tied with Latvia. They had some like last minute ones like come in and that I ended up getting a little bit. So Australia was tied with Latvia. So maybe we'll start with Australia. Look, Australia's good. Australia's good. What can I say about it that I haven't already said? I love Australia's song. I feel like it's great. It's definitely gonna like qualify. What else can we say about Australia? Y'all got thoughts on Australia? Yeah, y'all got thoughts? Well, we've got Amanda. Good morning, Alesia. It's 6:17 a.m. in Sydney. Well, good day, mate. We got to be talking about Voyager. Look. I think the only amount of hate that Australia got this year was due in large part to what I would call miscalculated PR steps. In the future, if Australia continues to decide coming to, to play in the sandbox, I think we got to do our PR a little bit more thoughtful, because we built people up to Dami Eam, then sealing, because then it was just so quiet, because it's almost like, well, if it's Dami Eam, you could just say her. And so then it was so quiet that now we were at Kylie Minogue levels. That was too much. We shouldn't have done that. But no, I love Voyager. I really love this song. I never skip it. And even when I've like played the whole playlist for people, this is one of the songs that stands out to them. So I think Australia's going to do really, really well. Eurovision, Australia surprised me in the pre-parties. Iffy, complete confidence in Australia. Let's see, Voyager also improved so much from last year's Australia Decides. Their live last year was a mess, but now they're so charismatic. Alexander G says, I can see Australia getting a good televote score in the final, something they usually struggle with. I could see that. I think, yeah, what is Jorge talking about? Jorge says Australia closing the semifinal will qualify for sure, although in the final it will not do very well. So conflicting views. All right, so let's move on to our final. We're in our top 3. We're talking our top 3. In 3rd position, we've got Czechia. And as worried as people are about it and whatnot, and I heard some people talking about in the pre-parties, the harmonies were off, but you have to remember, at pre-parties, they do not do sound mixing. It is not proficient sound mixing. So to be fair, any duet or real vocal performance that's a group, not just a band, but a vocal performance where you've got multiple vocals happening at the same time is going to suffer in a pre-party scenario because you need actual sound mixing. We don't have to worry about that at the Eurovision Song Contest, though, so I'm not really worried about that. But I am very curious to see how they decide to stage this. But since that music video was so slick and it was so visually impactful, I think it'll be very difficult for them to just completely fumble the bag, right? Like, they're not going to completely fumble the bag when it comes to showing up on the Eurovision stage, right? Right? Let me hop into the comments. You says Czechia's song is like the toughest to mix. Every harmony needs to be perfectly balanced, so we don't need to worry. Exactly. Chris, Vesna, it all comes down to staging and choreography and vocal harmonies. If it works, they're right up there for top 5 position. Agreed. We got Carl. Vesna is my favorite band this year, and I think they might surprise us with the staging at Eurovision. They need to. And then Pasqualino, they actually sound good at the pre-parties. The real problem is the choreography, to be honest. So hopefully they can improve that. Choreo is easy. Joey, hold up. Vesna sounded much better at Eurovision in concert. They're getting better, I hope. Boom, boom. Okay, and then Alexander G, they said We Are Domi would flop, and then they didn't. Czech Republic will be fine. Czechia will be fine. You know, I feel good about this. I'm feeling good still. Some people, and I think this is what I would say. When people want to have a conversation about shock non-qualifiers and then mention Czechia, I'm okay with having that conversation because it surely will be shocking if it does not qualify with a song that strong. Even in a strong semi, that song really is strong. It's unique. It's doing some things. So, yeah, we'll see. We will see. Okay, let's hop on to our number 2. Our number 2, it's Taya and Selena, Austria, bleh. Po, 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 Edgar Allan, oh, there's a ghost. Okay, anyway, yeah, Austria is going to do really well this year. It's interesting, though, because we just talked about Czechia. I almost feel more worried for the staging of Austria than I do Czechia. Because there's something to be said for, with Czechia, the different languages, the ethnic sounds, the song almost feels composed for Eurovision in the way that there are levels and it takes us on a journey. Whereas Poe could either do really, really well, but if the staging is off, it could easily tumble. And I'm thinking, like, just the fact that it's so easy to latch on to, that it's catchy, and it really is like a well-produced pop song. I am hoping that that alone will still be able to carry it through. But I am concerned. I am a little bit concerned. I'm just concerned. I'm more worried about them bringing this song to life than Czechia, because honestly, y'all, Czechia could just stand all in one row with all the girls and we could just have lights flash over them with good styling, and I think the song would still kind of carry it through. Whereas with Austria, we need a little bit of dynamism with that one. With Austria, we need a little bit of something, and I think we need a little narrative, because it's not just going to be a song that they can just stand on the stage and like do simple choreo for it. Let me hop into these comments. Europe Ian, did Austria's pre-party hint at staging? Seems very clean and impactful. I didn't watch it. Kevin, Austria is a huge threat for jury support. Jury bias skews towards acts that are similar to the juror, as if enough jurors relate to the struggle of being a musician plus the quality. Could surprise. I mean, I don't know if it would be surprising. I mean, Austria's top 10 in the betting odds right now, right? So would it be surprising? I don't know. Chris, no concern at all for Austria. Hopefully at the pre-parties in person, they were incredible and they feed off the crowd. What are we saying? Tomas, really confident about Austria this year after really good vocals in the pre-parties. Hoping to see them qualify this year. Last time Austria was in the final was in 2018. Let's see. Austria is so lucky they could not they could not qualify in semi one. I see what you're saying. Austria is so lucky they could have like not qualified in semifinal one. I think it depends though. I think Austria is still a strong song. I think it'll come down to really how they decide to bring it to life on the stage. I would even just play around with the office setting. I think that you could do that even with having LEDs to like set the stage. Like I think we could do that and then have that triumphant like dance at the end. Like I actually think it could be just that simple. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, and in first position in our battle of the bands, It's Joker out, y'all. Okay? How can we really still be having conversations about, like, them shockingly not qualify and flop? Like, now I know I only asked Twitter. And Twitter, is not the real world. It's not the real world. But to me, for them to just be kind of dominating, like, almost all of these categories is telling us something. These guys have charisma. The vibe, the energy, it's just, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know what else to say. Well, that concludes our series and this video. What's the best band or duo non-solo act at Eurovision 2023 according to you? Drop down and talk to me in the comments below. Do you disagree with this ranking? That's okay. Drop down and talk to me in the comments below. This is a conversation, and you know what? I am so excited for Eurovision 2023. Don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I have so much content coming for you. Yeah, we've got Ladies' Choice live stream that's going to be happening. I have to give you my semifinal predictions, which is going to be coming next week. And then also, if you are a DC or you know someone who is an American Eurovision fan, guess what? You can come to Washington, D.C. and get yourself a little Eurovision experience because I'm going to be hosting watch parties. The details are going to be coming to you soon. And even if you want to travel to D.C. to have this experience, be around a whole bunch of fans, we're going to be having live performances. We're going to be having drag performers. We're going to be having contests, yes, with real prizes. You're going to want to come through. So please keep it locked here. I will have more details probably next week. So yeah, keep it locked here. Thank you for watching. Bye.